even though this life gets tough, said you gotta keep fighting. And even though it gets hard, it's gonna get hard. You gotta keep striving. But you gotta keep striving. Through the fears and the loss, so the tears won't turn off. No, here's your heart's cry. Hold on to his words. Lean on him. It gets better.
The toughest war you ever face will be domestic. It's elementary. It's been this way for centuries. Cold War was raised against our seed. Take off them blinders, you will see. That it ain't about them gas prices. It's all about who whip the nicest. All about them deals on bundles. Hair on fleek don't make them up. Face beating red bottoms. Dead beats we hear about them. Fitted up from head to toe, but never had their children's do. Wonder why they dying by the dozens, but it's simple, yo. Just listen. It's time we stop ignoring facts. It's time we take our family back. Fix the root and then attack. Stop making moves without a plan. Control emotions, then we stand. Calling on my kingdom and to come together. Take this land. We gotta fight, our future depends. Get the head back in order, cause that's where it begins. Invest your all into your garden, water the roots to the end. Nurture the family tree and let the fruit feed all men. Just listen.
Even though this life gets tough, said you gotta keep fighting. And even though it gets hard, you gotta keep striving. Through the fears and the loss, so the tears won't turn off. No, here's your heart's cry.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of A Mile in My Shoes, where we ask the question, how can we say we know someone if we've never heard their story? Tonight, we got a special guest all the way from Baton Rouge. I'm real excited to get to know this brother and hear his story. Without any further ado, y'all drop some hearts from my brother, Frank King Clay II. What's going on, my brother?
What's going on, man? It's a pleasure to be here, an honor, and I just here to do what God want me to do, man, and be vulnerable.
Got you, my brother. So, for the people who may not know you, tell us a little bit, man.
Man, so my name is Frank Laverne Sr. You know, I'm a husband, man. I've been married going on 17 years. You know, my life has been a struggle. I'm from Baton Rouge, but I'm actually half Opelousas because my mom was born and raised in Opelousas. And technically, I'm not even supposed to be here, you know, because she got married a man from Opelousas, man with the last name Laverne, moved to Baton Rouge for work. And somewhere in their marriage, it didn't work out, you know, and he left because he felt like she couldn't have kids. Then, you know, she kind of did her own thing, worked 2 jobs, and along came my dad. You know, they started dating. Push came to shove, and she ended up pregnant at 40 years old and gave birth to me at 41.
41 years old.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
So, man, I was born in 1983. I'm 40 years old, but I have the mind of a 60-year-old because of, you know, my parents and my upbringing.
How was that, though, growing up with older parents?
I didn't see no difference because I was in a house a lot. You know, growing up in the 80s, man, like I was born into the crack, you know, epidemic where I seen everything change before my eyes, where the OGs that I used to play ball with, flip against, do different things with, started changing, you know, wearing loked out, grilled up, old schools.
Yeah.
And they shielded me from that. You know, my mom, she wasn't able to work, you know, after having me. So she only got disability once a month. So she was a at-home mom. And then my dad, he worked the graveyard shift as a cook, you know, just trying to make ends meet.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about this story, man.
Ooh, so
look, what you inboxed me, I was like, yeah.
Look,
tell us a little bit about that part, man.
Man, so I'm the only child, you know, of my mom and my dad. My mom, she did raise 7 foster kids before she had me. You know, all of them were ripped away from her, given back to their parents, or, you know, the state put them in someone else's care. But growing up in my neighborhood, you know, in Dixie, in Baton Rouge, in the 80s, man, I went through a lot as the only child, and then being culturally different from my peers.
Yeah.
So I was picked on, teased, had a lot of fights, man. And it was like, I don't think I ever had a one-on-one fight in my life, you know, because everybody got their people, and it's just me.
Yeah.
And so when one dive, they all dive, and you know, it just kind of went like that.
I got a question. I look at the culture of Baton Rouge now, and I went to school at Southern too, so I know how really get.
Yeah.
Has it always been like that since back then?
Ooh, yeah. I mean, all of that changed when crack hit.
Yeah.
Before the crack era, it was more family based. You know, neighbors got along. People would sit out in the afternoon. The kids would play. Everybody knew everybody. So even though like I got picked on and bullied by my peers, their parents treated me like I was their child.
Yeah. So as time progressed in BR, what's some more interesting things that took place, man?
Ooh, just being on a different trajectory in my life. I got in school, struggled a little bit, you know, from like first to maybe third grade. I was actually recommended for a special ed because they felt like I was slow. Kind of went home, discussed some things with my mom. My mom, she kind of put something on my mind that sparked me, and I ended up going to school and excelling, you know, getting good grades, honor roll, really loving school until I guess about 7th grade, you know, when I looked around and realized the smart guys don't get the girls, but also the smart guys always the butt end of, you know, so-called alpha males punishment, you know, and amusement. So like all of that changed me, and especially in middle school, man. So I went to Prescott Middle down here, and Prescott was notorious, you know, for fights, guns and lockers, all kind of crazy stuff, man. And I had to go and I had to survive, you know. So eventually I ended up slacking on my grades, not paying attention, and going into the streets because that's the direction everybody else was going.
So as young as 7th grade, you already getting that look like, hey, this smart guy stuff ain't working. I gotta be able to survive in these surroundings.
Yeah, Brian. So what happened was I ended up starting to speak up for myself and not take, you know, people messing with me. And through the scuffles, like even though I never picked a fight, I still had to go through it. And as I went through it, I started to learn that, you know, I could handle my own, you know, even though I might be the only person. After getting jumped so many times, you develop a nice set of hands. And, you know, I kind of got addicted to fighting, and just, I never really became a full-fledged bully because I hate bullies. Like I'm traumatized from being bullied. But it got to the point where I started picking on the bullies when I saw them picking on someone that, you know, was not capable, you know what I'm saying, of defending themselves.
Look, I definitely can relate to that, man.
Yeah.
And it took a long time for me to understand that God had a purpose for that too, man.
That's right.
So now we in school, and you're starting to get a taste of that power, and you're starting to realize, hey, I got a little something with me.
Yeah.
What happens now, man?
Well, just I was still grounded because me having my father in my life and him being from the streets, you know, from the park here in Baton Rouge, and just seeing everything, because he was 39, you know what I'm saying, when I was born. So he had been through everything and knew that, the streets was a losing battle, you know.
Yeah.
So he would drop little nuggets here and there. Plus also just seeing him kept me, you know, from doing certain things because I wanted to be like him. So I did get into selling drugs, selling crack, selling weed, got expelled from school, 8th grade year from selling weed. But when I got my first job, that kind of changed everything.
Yeah.
Because also the kind of era that I was in, my generation was, you know, kind of held down by the generation before us.
Yeah. Yeah.
In terms of not teaching us the game, you know, just not really wanting us to thrive like they was. It was all for them. They hoarded everything for themselves. So once I got a taste of legal money, I kind of stayed that route, and, you know, God just took it from there to where, you know, I did hustle every now and then, but that wasn't my primary money.
Yeah.
If things got crazy, I could just easily leave it alone because I'm fit to get a paycheck. And, you know, by the grace of God, man, that kept me from having a criminal record.
Right. Had his hand on you.
Yeah. Protection, you know, just, I guess, hiding me.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, how important was that, having that male role in your life that kind of hold you from going into that path that he already knew everything about?
Man, I guess by just, he was a dominant male figure, so I was scared to death of him.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of things that I wouldn't do or couldn't do.
Yeah.
Because it was like almost in my mind, my dad had killed me.
Yeah.
And but it was a downside to that. And I guess that's based on how he was raised and things he had to go through, especially being born in the 40s, where he was a man, you know, wouldn't show no emotion.
Yeah.
Really wouldn't talk a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? He just kept his head down and worked. And that was good, but it was also bad because now I'm turning around and having to teach myself how to open up and how to look around and not just keep my head down and just work, but have my eyes and my ears open to what God is saying and be sensitive, you know. And I think I got that from my mom, where she built that sensitivity into me, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I really believe, bro, just having both of them and that balance, it just kept me on the right path.
Man, I'm learning so much from that older generation, especially the brothers, how really it was when it came to, I'm just here to work and make sure my family's straight.
That's right.
Like when I'm listening to the stories from my father and listening to the stories from the other older men, your only goal was to get that bread and bring it home for your family.
Yes. And I'm learning now, bro, that a lot of our elders were traumatized too. Like that was the only thing they could do was hold their head down, because at any moment anything could be taken from them. You know, their life, the life of their family. I mean, you know, the life of their family, because it was rough. It was rough for African American men. Yeah. You know, to survive, to stay a man, but also take care of his family. And I'm actually starting to think a lot of that trauma that they went through, not only was it passed down to us through their actions and how they act, because it did form how they treated everybody and how they saw reality, but I think it's also in the bloodline, bro, that trauma being passed down. Yeah.
When did you really start to notice that, man, it's some things that I got to change? Where you understood what took place with Pops, but you knew it was like, man, I got to do something different. When did that moment happen for you? Because that was a big moment for me. It's a very shocking, overwhelming moment where it's like, man, I got to do something a little different.
Yeah, I guess, bro, when God called me, you know, so I ended up getting saved when I was 21, and by then, I had already had a child. You know, I had my daughter when I was 17. Still one foot in the streets, but also trying to pursue music. Like I thought music was going to be my ticket out.
Yeah.
I had this whole idea of I'll do it by any means necessary. And when I get to the top, then I'll start preaching about Jesus. But then on me. But then God flipped it on me and was like, nah, you put all that on hold right now. You come to me and then, you know, let's figure this out.
How was that transition? When he told you straight up, now we're going to do it this way.
It was rough, bro, because I was at the brink. You know, I was with Grind Time Entertainment.
Yeah.
And we got a rapper that was named Lil Handed. That's, you know, legendary here in Baton Rouge. And I got the chance to be with him through his whole process.
Yeah.
And that only came from the nature that I have, you know, because in Baton Rouge, you got hoods, and most times hoods don't get along. And some people can't see past that, you know. But with me, I definitely didn't have beef with anybody if they didn't have beef with me, no matter where they was from. And then watching my dad navigate life kind of like on his own, I was able to pull back and not always have friends around and just kind of do things on my own. So I met him in the studio. Well, him and his crew and the CEO, and they took a liking to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was real, I was genuine. I wasn't trying to get nothing out of them. And, you know, I watched the CEO, Big Boy Cliff, you know, take him from, I mean, studio time, $25 an hour, recording on Fruity Loops, to like a real major album where he had major producers like Chino, Mouse, before Mouse blew up.
Yeah.
Clever, that's from Baton Rouge. And you know what I'm saying, people like Turk, Webby on his album. And I thought I was fit to go through that door with him, but you know, he ended up passing away, bro. He lost his life. He was 21, probably getting ready to make 22, in a car accident.
Dang.
Like right before his album dropped, maybe like a week or two before his album dropped. And then like a week after, I had and gave everything up and started following God.
Now, how did everybody react around you when you told them like, hey, I ain't going that route, man?
I really didn't announce it. I just kind of backed up a little bit, you know, and then I did express with the CEO how I was feeling and, you know, what my plans were, but I still kept in contact with him.
Yeah.
And pretty much, man, everybody that found out that I gave up everything and decided to follow God, they respected me for that. You know,
ain't it funny how you will have a whole vision on how it's supposed to go? And some of the times those visions will be planted in you from God. But that's part of the test. Are you willing to give it up though?
That's right. And also I'm learning that usually when he give you a vision, he'll show you the end and not the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So you still got to figure out and also see where he's guiding you and hear what he's speaking in order to get there. Like a lot of stuff I've seen, it still haven't come to pass yet, but I can feel it.
Yes, sir.
I can feel it because I can see when he showed me where I'm at now, and then I just still got a little bit more to go.
Yeah, yeah. So when you started on that path with saying, okay, I'm giving everything up and I'm following God, what's some of the things that took place during that season?
Well, celibacy for one. You know, I gave up sex, I gave up smoking weed, drinking. Like I just dropped everything cold turkey.
Wow.
Got into the word, got into a church, was going to Bethany for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But then what happened was my nerd side of me kicked in again when I started reading the Bible.
Yeah.
You know, because I always had a hunger for knowledge, and my mama always provided me with, you know, source material like dictionaries, encyclopedias. So I always had stuff to go dig into. And when God presented his word, something that I can not only dig into just surface level, but also historical, and theological. And I just geeked out.
Shout out to the geeks, man.
Hey,
You are not alone, man.
Man, look.
Hey, I love being a geek, man.
Bruh, and then to have so many, for the word to be so deep, I'm still uncovering stuff after 17 years of study. It's
layer
like
on top of layer
on top of layer. And you just got to keep peeling them back, peeling them back. And it's just been a wonderful journey for me besides the persecution.
Who talk about that for a minute, man?
Yeah.
Because look, I don't think people realize how crucial that persecution is when you choose to pick up that cross, man.
Man, it's real because it don't matter how gangster you used to be or how, outspoken you was before, people gonna start playing on you. And that's when you got to display self-control, and it builds, that muscle of being able to hold your tongue, being able to not, punch somebody in the face. And, when that character starts building, it makes you more mature, and it, puts you in the area to where it's nothing that you can't face.
Yeah. I always tell people, there's nothing more gangster than spiritual warfare, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Whoo.
I don't care who you are, like you said. I don't care how gangster you are. I don't care what you done been through. Spiritual warfare, nah, man. It ain't for the faint at heart, man.
That's right. Because
and just like you said, you could be tough in the street. Yeah. It's easy to knock somebody out.
That's right.
Self-control. Dealing with you.
That's when you got to knock yourself out. That's when you got to knock yourself out. So
my question is, what are some of the things? Because we know that's every day. We gotta. Yeah. What are some of the things you do to practice that muscle? What are some things you do that helped you in the area of self-control? Because that's, especially with us men, that's one of the hardest.
You really can't practice it, man. It got to be real life experience, and it got to be. It will be God sending it your way. Like we talk about the devil, bro, and we get a devil so much power till we act like he is on the same level as God, but we don't understand that he is an agent of God being used by God to purify us.
Hold up. Run that back. Slow that down. Slow that down and run that back. Pause that real quick, because that's, once you catch that, that's the beginning of coming out the matrix.
Yeah. So we give the devil too much power. And what we forget is, the devil was created by God, and he's an agent used by God to purify us. Because you don't know what's in you. You don't know what's in you until, the right circumstance come up.
That's deep, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And it's
an agent created by God to purify us, man.
Yeah. And it's real, bro. It's real. Like, when you look at the Bible as a whole, and every person that has, a life story in there, it's a lot of drama. It's a lot of drama. It's a lot of heartache. But in the end, the one that endures and goes through all of the lessons are the ones that persevere, and the ones that really earn their crown in the kingdom.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
But it hurt. It hurt. Like, I'm pulling out of a hurt right now where I never thought I'd see myself in.
Let's talk about it, man.
Yeah. So, man, I climbed my way up from a dishwasher. Started washing dishes at 15 years old. And in the company, man, I went from a dishwasher to a cook to a sous chef, executive chef, regional chef. Got homesick. Came back home, switched over to operations, assistant general manager, and then general manager. So I went from in the company from the lowest to the highest with no education.
Wow.
And when I got to that pinnacle where I felt like I needed to be and let my guard down and started trusting people and trying to love on people, all those people turned against me, man, and got me fired. I mean, when it hit me like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
I went through depression, being suicidal, being homicidal.
Yeah.
Because one thing you don't mess with is the bread that I got to put on the table for my kids. So, you know, you done did that after finding no fault in me, but making up lies to get me fired just to get me out the way.
Ooh. Ultimate test.
Yeah, ultimate test, bro. And you know, but also the ultimate fall, because I had built myself up so high to where when I fell, it was a long fall.
I heard that. I hear that.
But it's everything that I'm going through, I can see it in the Bible, you know, especially where it talks about God being the potter and we being the clay, you know. Yeah. And when the potter is building something, if it's not right, he gotta smush it and then build it back up again. And that smushing, man, it hurts.
Yeah,
it hurts, and it make people look at you crazy because you're dealing with so much.
Yeah.
And you have no words for it. So you really can't, you're trying to explain it to people, but you don't have the words for it, and they can't feel it because they never been through it. So it's like you just isolated and on an island by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I'm learning, man, like when things like that happen and it's just you, it's God's purpose just to get you alone so he can start speaking to you.
That total reconstruction mode, man.
Yeah,
buddy. And also too, it brings you to a whole nother level of knowing him and a whole nother level of faith with him.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
When we get those positions and gain the things of the world, we can slowly begin to start depending on him, and he will take them right from you.
That's right. That's good. I mean, I got comfortable. I was doing good. You know, I was still serving. But not only that, I got church hurt too from 2 different churches.
Let's talk about that for a second, man.
Oh man.
What was the effects of that, man?
Devastating.
I always like to hear these stories because there's so many different feelings on if church hurt is real and should people even feel that it. So I always like to really hear the stories that took place and the effects, because whether you believe it or not, somebody felt that.
That's right.
So it's real.
It's real.
If somebody
it's real,
it's real.
It's real when you have taken on responsibility of serving God's house. And people, it's different levels to serving and being in the kingdom. Mm-hmm. And when you get that David spirit of always wanting to be in God's house, taking care of God's house, taking care of the people in God's house, and then get the rug pulled from under you, that's devastating.
Yeah. Now,
You know,
how did that affect you?
it took me down a dark road. Not the first one. The first one hurt me because I had to leave everyone I knew. Had, you know, this rumor spread about me going to start my own church and wanting to take people and feel like I had let, you know what I'm saying, my spiritual father down, which had then moved away and was just trying to oversee things from a long distance. And it, you know, it just didn't work out.
Yeah. Now, what was your personal, and this is just me asking questions because I like to get the information and understand how these things go.
Yeah.
What was your real like intention? What was you trying to do that they had misconstrued for you trying to take people and because I hear that a lot, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. And the reason I'm asking, because, and we're gonna walk through this. I'm gonna give you what I got, and you're gonna give me what you got.
For
and
sure.
we're gonna see what we come up with. In my mind, we all in this together.
Yeah.
In my mind, leaders train people to be able to go.
That's right.
And build.
That's right.
And start and expand. Because we all in one kingdom, and our job is to go ye therefore.
That's right.
That's the word.
That's right.
So I get confused, and this is me personally, and you're gonna help me walk through this because you lived it.
For sure.
I get confused when I see leaders have that fear of people growing and then wanting to go build, because I thought that's supposed to be the whole purpose in the first place. Now I'm gonna hand the mic to you.
A lot of it is insecurity in the leader. You know, like the leader that you described is someone that's secure in God, secure in themselves, and know that it's supposed to be expansion. But then you have other leaders who really probably shouldn't be leaders in the first place, you know, because many are called, but only few are chosen.
Yeah.
And man, when you got someone that's envious, I guess you can kind of call it like a Saul spirit.
Come on, man.
Saul, and then
break this. Come on.
Yeah. So
come on, man.
Saul was king, you know, and he really didn't have no idea that David had got the word that he was going to be king. But in his spirit, he knew that he had messed up with God and somebody was going to replace him. And when it came down to David, you know, when David started to shine and the kingdom began to give David more praise, that built, you know, envy, jealousy, and it put a murderous spirit, you know, on Saul, because he didn't want to give up his power.
So you saying Saul had his opportunity, had his time to reign, had his time to do it right.
That's right.
And he chose to do it a certain way.
Yep.
And then God raised David, the one who had the heart for it, to come in that position.
That's right. That's right.
So you got envy, jealousy, and that murderous spirit.
Yeah.
See, nowadays, what I'm hearing, we may not deal with actual gun murder, but I'm a murder your character.
That's right.
I'm a spread rumors and deceit about you. Oh, he trying to go tear this up, and he trying to. I'm a murder everything about you.
Yeah.
To keep you from succeeding.
Or murder your spirit by speaking certain things over you. You know.
Let's talk about that too. I didn't know it was gonna lead to this, but I'm going there. Go ahead, man.
Man, so words have power, and anything that you speak over a person, that person absorbs that. And you may think, you know, that it was something like that you said, or you ain't have no ill intentions, but everything that you say out of your mouth on another person, it has an impact. And they will say, you know, for my example.
Give me example. Yeah, give me example. Give me example.
I would always hear, "You're not ready. You're not
Ooh,
ready."
hold on.
Yeah.
Let's not move from right there. So let's set this stage. You got a leader that you trust, that you've been rocking with.
Yeah.
That you've been underneath, you've been taking guidance from, you've been working in the ministry with, and now you go to expand, you get an idea, you get a call, and you get a nudge from God.
Yeah.
And then they speak to you, you ain't ready. What does that do?
It tears you down, you know, because in your mind you have done everything to prepare, and you've gotten, you know, pretty much all of the accolades of being the great leader, always hearing that you next, and then to hear, you know, you're not ready, is you know, it, and you got to look at it almost like a parental relationship, you know, like a father or mother talking to, you know, their child, and the child has progressed, has learned, only for the parent to say, you know, you're not good enough.
Oh, see, the reason I'm asking you to go deep, because we always hear the story from the leadership side.
Yeah.
I want to hear this from the understudy. Like, what do I feel after I didn't strive, I didn't gave my all, I didn't dedicated so much time, I didn't did everything I needed to do. I'm here every day, and then I hear from you like, nah, you're not ready.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like a spell, you know, because it circles around in your mind and in your head that you're inadequate, you know, that you don't have what it takes.
Another question: how do we discern? And we're gonna go a little deep in those layers.
Mm-hmm.
How do we discern the difference when it's a leader who actually cares, and it's somebody, like you said, with that Saul spirit, who just don't want to see you take that place?
That's what I'm actually trying to figure out now. Because now being on the backside, I think I have the revelation now that I wasn't ready. But I wasn't ready to be caged into the system that they had, you know.
Hold up. Yeah. And y'all feel free to comment y'all questions, because this is something that I wanted to talk about for panel discussion. Yeah. So hopefully I can have you when we have that discussion on this main topic right here. Continue on what you were saying, man.
So
you said about being ready for that system. You wasn't ready to be in that system. What system are we speaking of?
The church system. The church, it's church, religion, business.
I didn't know we was going here, man.
It's a lot, and sometimes the people that's in the system don't even know that they're on the wrong side. You know, because this has been years of manipulation, persecution, murder, because Jesus didn't preach church. He preached kingdom, freedom, love, And now being on the backside and really understanding what kingdom is and what the true gospel is, that church system is dead. It's dead works.
Man, I didn't know this was about to turn into this, man.
Yeah. And it's also divided too. Because the nerd in me really got into apologetics and defending the faith. But then I started realizing you're not just defending, well, in the Western culture, we're not defending against Islam, Hinduism, and other stuff. We defending against other sections of Christianity.
Hold on. Come on. I'm about to pull the nerd all the way out, man.
Yeah.
Break that part down. That last insert.
So
you said we defended the faith against other Christian systems.
Yeah.
That's a big statement.
That's right.
Give me something on that one right there, man.
All right. So I was a part of the Assemblies of God, which is Pentecostal.
Mm-hmm.
But as I started studying and understanding, I had to understand the Pentecostal I was in wasn't the same Pentecostal as everybody else. Like the Church of God in Christ or Apostolic or Foursquare, Church of God. It's Pentecostal, ain't just Pentecostal. And with me being in the Assemblies of God, I was in the white side of Pentecostal, where the culture is different, the doctrine is different, but it's the Assemblies of God and the Church of God in Christ are the same thing.
Yeah,
just one white, one black.
Division,
and it's different titles. It's a lot, man. And then understanding Apostolic, it's Pentecostal, but then you got the head button of the Trinity and no Trinity.
Division.
But also, what's the significance about the baptism of the Holy Spirit? Because one say if you're not baptized with the Holy Spirit, you're not saved. But the other one is if you're baptized with the Holy Spirit, you just, you got more power. And everything dealing with those Protestants. Okay, so Protestants covers everything, Apostolic, Pentecostal, Baptist, Methodist, anything that's outside of the Catholic Church.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, Protestants supposed to be protesting against the Catholic Church and their doctrines and how they do things. But then you still divided.
All I'm here, and that's just scratching the surface of the hundreds of different sectors that they got of different categories and subcategories and subcategories, and all I hear ringing is division.
That's it.
So I ran across something in my geek mode years ago. Is one of the greatest tricks Satan ever did was give us religion.
That's right. That's right, man. Because religion is man-made.
And divided us all.
Yeah.
Look, how do you leave the streets filled with hate and murder and killing and jealousy and then come to the church and we beefing like we Crips and Bloods?
It's the
Hey,
same.
we don't rock with that sector, cuz. You ain't Holy Ghost filled Pentecostal, cuz.
What?
Nah,
What?
we banging this over here, cuz.
That's
like,
right.
It's no difference than being in the street.
That's right. But that's what we learn from our leaders. Learn from our leaders, man, where we don't go and study the scriptures for ourselves. And then if we do, and we see something and go ask a question about it, then we get excommunicated.
Oh Lord, jeez, you going? Oh.
Yeah, so it's like it's fear, where you either rock with us, fit all the way in, or go find you somewhere else to go.
So we got a question.
All right.
They got some questions in here, and let me back this up. Because I ain't know it was going here, but we gonna sit right here though.
It's real.
We gonna sit right here. We got a question from Deborah Coleman. Says, what does church system mean?
Woo. So, church system is, I guess you could say, the structure of how they operate. That can be from doctrine, what they believe, but also order of service, where you got worship, you got the word, but everyone got their different way of doing things, to where you get wrapped up in doing dotting these I's and crossing these T's on how worship should be, how long it should be, how the word should be, what you should preach about, what you should wear in the pulpit, how you should raise money. It's a system that's just full of debt.
And my question is, what in the world does that have to do with glorifying Christ in the fall?
And then you got some, when it comes down to worship, you got some that say instruments are evil and won't have instruments in the church. But
we got another comment from Brother Rise. Says, and then you got cliques in the same houses. So now we banging the same gang, but we got different cliques inside the cliques.
That's right. That's
Man.
right.
The last. Go ahead.
Cliques will happen because everybody draw to like-minded people, and you just might have some like-minded people that ain't saved at all, because everybody that go to church ain't saved.
Yeah.
And they got something going on, and they think they okay because they got their name on the roll, they a member, they tithe, but their heart ain't nowhere close to God. And then you got those who, got a little bit of Christ in them, but they still fighting that flesh and that carnal side, and just, let the enemy use them.
The last word God gave me is that it's not spring cleaning. He coming to do total reconstruction.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are we taking notice that he's truly coming to tear all these systems down?
Yeah, if you pay attention, you can actually see it before your eyes. And it's, people can only take so much and put up with so much until they start understanding that something ain't right and I need to get away. And usually when you got people that pull back and just kind of think and look, you can start seeing where things just ain't right.
Yeah. It's like people leaving the world to break free and have freedom, and then they come and get straight into bondage into a different system.
Absolutely. You trade one bondage for another one.
Somebody type that, please. We trade one bondage for another.
Yeah.
Deborah Coleman says, in other words, man-made is church system and not of God.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not every church, though. It's not every church, because you got some true leaders who have been called to serve, and they serve, you know, with all their heart. And then you also have people that make mistakes.
Yeah.
It's just whether that person recognize that they on the wrong side, repent, and change course, or they just keep going down the way of destruction because they don't want to lose notoriety. They don't want to lose their name or their fame, and don't want to lose their money.
Okay, let's go to the touchy part.
Give me. Oh, I'm good.
Take a second.
I know I was gonna let my wife in, but she made her way in.
How has money played a role in all this?
Money is the root of all evil, and when the Bible say that, that is real. Not meaning that money is evil itself, because money is neutral. But when your love and your passion is for money over people and over souls, then it's wrong.
But then you have the aspect of, we got to keep this thing rolling. Yeah. And I know that takes a lot of energy from leaders, because they got to make sure the building stay afloat.
Yes, and that's true. That's absolutely.
So a lot of their time has to go into making sure the financial situation is secure. But my question is, when is the line drawn to where you stop trusting God and you start depending on you being able to get it?
And that part there, you'll never know. Like, God would have to speak to you and let you know about, you know, this leader's heart. But I don't think even the leader know when they make that switch.
Yeah.
You know, because it's so easy to get tempted, to fall off, to get a wrong perspective. And, you know, the enemy plays mind games. The enemy just don't let up. And then with leaders, you know, that's exactly who we go after. Because,
and me being a husband, I try to have patience with leaders, because I've been in that seat.
Yeah.
When you watching your little one need something to eat, and you like, and you make certain decisions and say, I have to get it by any means necessary. I'm at a different place in my life now, but I have understanding for those leaders that battle with that. Because as a man, if you're a leader over a household, and you looking at your wife, and this bill is coming, and this bill, that test to trust God get real.
It do. And it could cause you to do some crazy things. You know, it can really cause you to do some crazy things.
And now I from the false and the bad decisions, I've learned to totally trust him, to where now it's easy. It's almost like when those struggles come up, I can laugh. I'm like, watch what God about to do.
That's right.
But I had to take some drastic scabs and scars to be able to understand that when it get like that, lean even harder on God. I know he got it. Look, he about to perform a miracle. If this in front of me, he about to part the Red Sea. Yeah. But I had that mentality. The way the voice was playing in my head is, oh, you ain't no man. You gonna let your family go out like that?
Yeah.
So you just gonna sit there while your son is eating them noodles? Like, what you doing?
That's right.
And once you sit with that head and don't have that word in you to fight, because it's that manly pride that he play against. Like, we leaders, we want to take care.
That's
We
right.
want to make sure our family's straight, and he plays with that.
He does.
So I had to take that hat off and replace it. Is God supplying all my needs according to his riches and glory?
Yeah.
Look, I had to change that hat to, no, it's God leading this ship. It ain't me.
That's right.
And I believe that once you make that switch, everything is seen different.
That's right.
Every move made is different. Every thought and everything, when you leading, whether it's a family or church, everything lines up different. If it's me leading it,
Yeah.
or if it's God leading it.
That's right.
And
That's right.
that's a big distinction that gotta get made. Is it you leading it, or is it God?
Because I tell you one thing, if it's you, God will get out the way.
Crash.
God would get completely out the way and just let you do it.
Crash every time. I have never did it my way and not crash.
That's right.
And then I could tell you this: it might be cool for a little while, but the crash coming.
It's coming. It's
The
guaranteed.
crash coming.
It's guaranteed.
So tell me this: picture you being a leader, because I see that coming too. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Look, you heard it here first, man. Oh yeah,
for
man.
sure.
What ways are you gonna want to be in that position? Because the way I see it happening, all these conversations is coming up because a lot of different leaders are about to be delegated.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna be leaders that was chosen by man. It was gonna be leaders that's called and chosen, tried, and tested by God
It's gonna be the prophets.
in this time, for this time.
Yeah.
What'll be your main focus when you're leader of people? What's gonna be your main focus? I'm going there.
Communicating with other leaders.
Mm.
I mean, communicating and connecting with other leaders, because that's what it's all about. You know, if it's no community, no fellowship, where we band together, you know, everybody can see we living in the last days, you know, and it's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
But if leaders want to stay divided and be like, this my church, this my people, and you know, trying to hold and hoard everything, when you try to hold everything, that's when it's going to be taken away from you.
Stop the tape. Run that back one more time.
Trying to hoard and hold everything and control everything, that's when everything is going to be taken away from you.
I think that was one of the hardest things in my manhood life I've ever had to learn.
Yeah.
Anything and let me rephrase it. Anything that I put before God, let me get that.
That's right. That's
whether
right.
it's people, whether it's my wife, whether it's my kid, whether it's my job, whether it's anything that I chose to put before him,
Yeah.
all hell broke loose.
That's right. That's right, man. And I got to give it up to DJ Double R, man.
Oh, that's my dog,
Man, me and him been talking, and this was probably a few years ago as we was discussing things, and he brought up ego. Now I'm starting to see like ego is real, and ego will take over and you wouldn't even know it, because it comes from triggers. And I'm learning as people, mainly Black people, you know, everybody go through their problems, but African American people have been through a lot. We got a lot of trauma. We got anger issues. Man, we have so much stuff in us, post-traumatic stress, that all it takes is a little push.
It is over.
And it's over.
Deborah Coleman said, ego edge God out.
That's right. That's right, man. Anytime we edge God out, we lose humility, we lose respect, you know, we lose self-control, and it's It may not all go downhill at one time, but eventually, when you look up, you're gonna be looking up from the bottom.
But is that not the word? Pride
Yes.
before destruction.
It is.
That's the word.
It is. But you know, a lot of times we glance over that and don't really pay attention to it because we're not gonna tell ourselves that we're full of pride.
Mm-mm.
And then as it goes unchecked, it grows stronger. It takes dominion, and you know, it burns everything down.
Question, leader, because I'm gonna call you what you are.
Yeah.
How important will your circle be as a leader? The ones you keep around you.
For one, you can't have no yes men. You
took the thought right out of my mind, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say it. I just put it right there. You went straight to where I was going.
That's
How
right.
important?
Man, it's very important. I mean, I got a gang of brothers, Truth Made, you know, Double R, Be Right, Trail, Free Will, you know, TJ. Like, we have this bond to where we're gonna let each other know if we out of line. You know, feelings might get hurt, might pass a few words, but we tell each other the truth. We hold each other accountable, and that builds a true bond, brotherhood, but also builds us individually as men when somebody tell us that we out of place.
Having real brothers around you.
Yeah.
Whoo-wee. Having yes men around you.
Man, look, you're only setting yourself up. Because usually yes men, they're around you because they benefit from you.
Oh,
so
Lord.
they just want to fatten you up. You know, so they just
usually yes
so they
men
can
around
sacrifice
you because they benefit from you.
Yeah.
Man.
Yes, indeed. You know, they get something out of you. Some that they get a little piece of the spotlight. They get to be seen. They get to say they know you. And, you know, if you're really doing good, they financially benefit off you too.
We got a comment from Sister Nona. It said, ego and self goes hand in hand. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There go that word again. Deborah Coleman commented, accountability. Man, it's accountability, man. What's your thoughts on that, man? Because what's your thoughts on accountability, man? The first person I think of is my wife. Golly.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's also hard because you got to understand the dynamics. You know, women can't understand everything that men go through.
Yeah.
And also with accountability, you can't tell everybody your business. You know, when Jesus, for the transfiguration, he didn't bring all 12.
Yeah.
You know, he only brought 3.
That's deep.
It's only certain people that you can open yourself up to, that you can trust to be, you know, your confidants, and that'll really give you sound advice.
Brother Roger says, yes, men have their own agenda. Yes, sir.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
That's right, man. And it's kind of hard to tell who's who, but all you gotta do is just ask God for clarity.
Look, discernment is key, man.
That's
As
it.
a leader,
Yeah.
If you are leading with emotions,
that's what I had to learn the hard way, because I'm a very emotional guy.
Hard.
You know, I'm real soft, and I guess I get that from being a mama's boy. But I'm only soft to a point. You know,
yeah.
I can take a whole lot, and then all of a sudden I just snap. But
yeah,
and it's also genetic too, because
yeah.
you have empaths and you have narcissists. Narcissists feed off of empaths, and you got to be careful with it because it can be dangerous to where a narc will attach themselves to you and suck everything out of you. But if you catch on to it and trigger them, it could be devastating. They'll do anything.
Hey, you know what exposes a narc?
What's that?
A boundary.
But if that boundary come down hard and quick, yeah, you can see the devil come out. Yeah.
In real life.
Yeah. So that's what I'm learning, man. That I'm just really learning every day that it's a lot of stuff that we don't know. And that's mainly because the church won't even allow you to look at anything outside of the Bible, But people got to understand, man, science, biology, all that stuff go hand in hand because it's all made by God.
Hey, go ahead. I like
it.
it.
If you don't understand how your body operates, how the planets operate, the solar system, and all that, and we made from this, you can just be flying by blind faith.
Hey, let me pick it back. I wouldn't even say you have to go out the Bible. You definitely can go out the Bible to get it all, but it's all in there.
It is.
You remember at the beginning of this conversation when we said layer on top of layer on top of layer on top of layer? So what I'm understanding, man, I be wanting to go so deep in these conversations. Hey,
but it ain't enough time.
Hey, you taking me there, man.
Time.
Hey, I'm gonna say this. What I learned is the power of the scripture that says, "I became all things that I might win some."
That's right.
So instead of talking so much about what God has taken me and opened me up to be able to see, I know how to be able to speak to no matter whoever's in front of me and where they are in their path.
That's
with understanding.
That's right.
And I had to learn that a title and a position don't give you that understanding. He said, those who seek me, he gonna meet them. So the more and more you seek him, and the more and more you willing to give up all that you think you know.
Yeah.
Is the more he shows you.
That's right.
How big all this is crucial really is.
That's right. And you can take that like as having to empty your cup to be refilled again.
Hey, I'll tell you like this. I used to hate math in school, and now I love it.
Yeah.
Everything around us.
That's right.
Every situation, I see numbers.
All love. The architecture and how everything is mapped up can all be boiled down to numerical values. Hey,
we gonna have to have another segment where we just man.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm grateful for these interviews, man. Cause what it's doing is really opening everything up and showing that it's a lot of people that share these things. But if we ever go outside our boundaries and really step in the kingdom, we'll see how close we really are, man.
That's right.
Just being willing to listen to somebody else.
That's right.
You can learn so much, man.
Man, and that's what I've been. And then I learned that in the culinary world. Just even though you might be a chef, it's always something new to learn and somebody under you that could teach you.
Hey, to me, it's everybody gets scared when they talk about the ending of all this stuff. Hey, but to me, it's from the seat I'm sitting in, it's beautiful to watch, man.
It is. It is.
It's beautiful to watch, man.
Yeah.
It's like you watching him tear down all this old construction, and you already then seen the blueprint of this big kingdom that's about to be built. So you already know what the blueprint is.
Yeah.
But right now is the process of clearing all the land.
That's
pulling
right.
up all the old buildings and the broke down this and the old look, leveling out. This is the ugly part.
That's right.
But in order to build that blueprint, we got to tear all that land out. Yeah. All that old stuff, all them broke down barns on the side, and the dead weeds and all that. We got to pull up all that, and that's what's going on.
That's it. It's just like you said, man. Reconstruction, repurpose. You know, it's really about to be beautiful.
Oh man!
You know? and then. But everybody got to trust the process. It's an ugly process to go through, but man, it's so fulfilling and satisfying once you go through
it. And also too, those who fully understand that what's taking place, I encourage those who understand to have the heart to know that people grieving.
Yeah.
If you got to tear grandma's house down that everybody grew up in, and this is where all our memories at, and this is because you're trying to you expanding and rebuilding it. It hurt to watch grandma's house get torn down. That's where that's what everything we know is the grandma's house.
That's right.
So I'm using that example. It's like have patience with the ones that's holding on to. I don't want to. No, don't. No, this all we got. This all we know. Have some patience for the people that's struggling with the watching grandma's house, that truck knocking the first. Just imagine how that feels.
I mean, it hurt, you know, but in order to get to new, you got to let go of the old. You know, those who get the new wine don't want the old. So.
And look, this still grandma land. This still the memories that never go away.
That's right.
What was done would never go away.
The land is more important than the structure that's on it. I don't know where that came from, but you know, it's
I need my typers real quick. Because, hey, that wasn't a joke.
Yeah.
Y'all, the land is more important than the structure that was built on.
That's right. Because you can always build again.
He said, hold up, we got another comment. He said the new is actually going back to the original design. Yes, sir.
Yep. It's a process, you know. Got to go through the birthing pains and the growing pains, but just know joy is on the other side.
Yes, sir. Look, my brother, I enjoyed this. I just made me another kingdom connection.
Yes, indeed.
And hey, this ain't gonna be the last time.
For sure.
We got some things to talk about. I want you to also inbox me your number.
Gotcha.
Cause my brother.
Gotcha.
I want to be able to actually have people to be able to talk about these things with and actually make some real life connections and maybe go out to BR and visit and whatnot, man. For sure. I'm going to enjoy these kingdom connections, my brother.
Man, that's what it's about, man.
Hold on, we got another. I hope we have a conversation on who is called and chosen in the church, which have kept so many great ministers and preachers' gifts to be put on the back burner of life. 1 Timothy and Titus 1 makes it clear that some had a desire not called but preachers, and in Timothy 1 somewhere appointed, not called. Ooh, wee. That's major.
Yeah.
That's major. Look, I'm keeping that one under the hip, Pops. Let me see what else we got. Hey man, I just love your platform. It's really opened my eyes. Thank you. I appreciate it. Look, to God be the glory.
Amen.
And this is what it is, though. So many people have so much inside of them that never get hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never get hurt. I think that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
That's what he's discussing. Like people getting put on the back burner and got so much to give to the body.
That's right. But it's going to take leaders like us to go ahead and usher them people to the front, and allow them to serve, because serving is actually therapy. It's therapeutic.
Ooh, serving is therapeutic.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Look, Mom say, keep on keeping on, brother. God is with you. Look, we appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Look, Thomas say, Kingdom Connection. This is what it is, man. We witnessing it unfold right in our face. And yes, it looked new.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked different. But believe it or not, this is what it's gonna be. Well,
it's inevitable.
When we ain't gotta discuss, hey, what's your ranking? What schooling you got? What degree on theological this and that you got? What's your background? Which sector you claiming? Who's your leader of leaders who lead them? And bro, just tell me what God did for you, bro. That's all I want to know.
That's right. And how can I help you?
How can I help you?
Yeah.
When can we go back to that? How can I help you?
That's right.
You got something I need. I got something you need. Let's put it together, man.
That's right.
So I appreciate you. Look, I appreciate the geek side.
For sure.
Like I said, hey, hold that thought, because you didn't show me where you at with it.
Yeah.
So next time you come back, I got some things for us to talk about, man.
For sure, man. For sure.
I got some things.
I'm just ready to pour, man, because I'm steady feeling. The more I feel, the more I got to come out.
Yeah. I appreciate you, my brother. Look, we love y'all. Look, we appreciate y'all comments, y'all questions. Look, where can they find you at? Where can they find you at?
Man, so I'm on Facebook, Frank King Clay Jr. Instagram, King Clay ×2 X2. Just reach out,
Y'all go follow Adam right now. Now tell me this. I know you had music in the past. Can we still hear some of this music anyway, man?
Yeah, so right now I got a tape that's out, Clay Baby, Different Breed. I got a joint tape with my brother Yule, Let Him Talk. And right now I'm still working on some new stuff. Hey,
send me some of that in my inbox, man.
For sure. I got you.
I want to get on that, man. Look, Pop say Breaking Chains. Yes, sir. Look, shout out to Grant, man. Amazing interview we had. Like I said, y'all are blowing my mind with these interviews, man.
Yeah, man. It's God bringing it together.
The power that each one of y'all have is so distinct and peculiar alone.
Yeah.
Like a whole entity alone. Like I'm really seeing the value of every single person you come in contact with if you would take the time and open that book.
And listen to them.
Open that book.
Yeah.
Where will we become if we realize God has given you, say for instance, let's go geek. Okay.
And give me 1 second. I need to grab the charger for my phone died.
Go ahead. I'm gonna speak to the crowd. Say for instance, and we gonna close on this note, y'all. We gonna rock it out with a song. Say for instance, we computers, right? And if we MacBook computers, and each individual that's around us is a program that we can download onto our computer. Do you understand how many programs when you talking about your child, your wife, this person, this. How many different programs you got around you that you can download information from? Meaning, I don't have to go through what you went through. I don't have to suffer the things you suffer. I don't have to. All the information that this individual has, I got access to it if I listen. Yo, I hope y'all catch that, man. Take advantage of all those different programs God has given you access to download into your computer and gain all that information without having to go through anything. That's just right. By me sitting there listening to this brother, I could download his whole program on my computer.
That's right.
All his stumbles, falls, successes, failures, things that worked, things that didn't, things that he triumphed in, things that he excelled in. All I got to do is listen to him, and I can get all that information.
That's right.
So how old are you? 40?
I'm 40.
40 years worth of information sitting right in front of me if I listen. Kingdom living, man.
Kingdom living, brother.
Kingdom living, man.
Yes.
40 years for free.
Yes, indeed.
So we love y'all. We going out with a song, and look, I'm gonna inbox you to schedule you for your next day because I gotta have you back. We going. For sure. The name of it is Geek Night. We going all the way in, man.
Gotcha, bro.
We gonna talk about some math. We
gonna
talk about some biology. We gonna talk about the system. We gonna talk about all that.
Yeah.
And look, and we gonna see that God has His hand in every little part of it.
That's right.
I love you, my brother, and I appreciate you.
Love you too, brother.
Yes, sir.
Salute.
Hey, y'all know what time it is? Drop some hearts. If you enjoyed that interview, y'all drop some hearts. Y'all, hey, look, everybody on here, y'all got to share the live right now. Hold on. Let's get to this song. Share the live right now. Drop some hearts. Drop some comments. Tell me what y'all thought about tonight.
To my queens, I see y'all in a different way. It's more to y'all than posing. Posting pictures on your Facebook page. God giving power to uplift a man, to make a slave. Speak life into our dreams. Or tear us down and watch us fade away. Know your position, cause you're vital to the family structure. No replacing any mother. Careful how you treating love. Elegant, heaven sent etiquette is like no other. Her love is better than buttered biscuits right out the oven. Know who you are, don't let this world define. Shape or mold you, God's daughter, queen of nations. There's no box to ever hold you. Life creator, womb protector, heaven sent. Love injector, backbone, best gift ever. Worth more than hidden treasure. I speak life, cause this world is trying to turn you cold. Replace that heart of stone with flesh. We need your love to make us whole. Take back your crown and hold us down. Together, we won't fold. Get back to love how God intended. Change to make this family.
Even though this life is tough.